Hey folks, this is JW, also known as Ronan785. So, just a real brief video. Well, I'll try to keep it brief. You know how that goes. Sometimes I get a little long winded. But, so how do we balance the prepper lifestyle with our personal responsibilities in our lives? You know, that's the big question that I've seen, and especially as somebody who's tries to motivate other AmCon members, especially in the Kansas region. Something that we constantly are seeing are members who want to be involved, but there's so much stuff going on in their lives. It makes it difficult to always participate and be involved in different activities that we try to coordinate amongst ourselves. You know, being a prepper or being, a person that's training and preparing, whether you consider yourself a citizen soldier or a modern Minuteman, it doesn't matter, or just a prepper, or you're just an outdoor enthusiast, uh, like a bushcrafter type, somebody that likes that kind of stuff and studies those things. It doesn't matter what you're doing or what you call yourself. You could be an overlander, you could be a car camper, you could be a tent camper, or remote wilderness type stuff. And there's so many different areas of learning and topics out there. It's like the sky's the limit. There's just so much information out there that it would be very unrealistic to think that you could learn everything there is to know in a in one lifetime as opposed to maybe 10 lifetimes. There's just a lot of information. So I guess my point of this video is just to encourage my fellow friends, family, AmCon members, and just preppers in general in the community that find some things to start. If you're into like first aid, CPR, stuff like that, then maybe take a class and do some wilderness first aid or remote wilderness first aid. You can do online training. You can take that online training and you can practice doing different things like bandaging and collecting your supplies and stuff. And I'll talk a little bit more about that sometime in a different video. I have tons of medical supplies because I know where to look, and it's something that I'm always watching for deals, and I'm always grabbing a hold of stuff. So I have more than I would probably ever need, but I feel like it's better to have it and not need it, as we all know, than need it and not have it. Like they say, it's better to be a warrior in the garden as opposed to a gardener in the war. So having more than what you really or realistically will need is not a bad thing, but you have to be coordinated. You have to be organized in how you're going to access this, how you're going to store it, how you're going to take care of it and preserve it. Because if you don't take care of it properly, it's not going to serve you well because it's just everything deteriorates and everything has an expiration. But I'm one of those people who I believe that just because the expiration date says it expired, I'm not necessarily one to just throw it away. I'm just kind of a pack rat when it comes to that. So going back to what we were talking about, sorry, a little itchy when you get a mustache, nose hairs, and so we're all busy people. We have our responsibilities, our jobs, our careers, our families, our homes, our vehicles, our mortgages. We all have to prioritize things in our lives. And sometimes I come across a little strong about people that join AmCon and they don't really do anything beyond just joining, which still kind of boggles my mind why you would join and then not participate in anything or communicate with anybody. But there are people that do, and that's okay. That's okay. Um, but the thing is that when you start living a, let's just call it the prepper lifestyle. Now, I don't like labels, okay? And there are labels for everything, but American Contingency has a lot of preppers in the group, okay? And there are other types of people in the group as well. But I think it's safe to say that the majority of the people in the organization are preppers to some degree. To some degree. Maybe there are some that don't prep at all whatsoever, which, again, that boggles my mind. Why would you not want to prepare yourself, even if it's small stuff? You know, some extra food in the pantry, you know, having an emergency medical first aid kit. Those are all examples of what I call practical prepping. You don't have to go crazy and devote a room, you know, where you have a wall full of AR-15s and, you know, flags and totes full of, you know, supplies and ammo. It's not necessary for everybody. Now, some people do that, and there's nothing wrong with that, but it's not necessarily how everybody's going to approach the the prepper lifestyle. So we understand that we all have responsibilities, and it makes it difficult to be able to always participate in all the events that we would like to do. But there comes a point, and I have to say this because somebody has to, that I always say this. If it's important enough to you, you will find a way. You will make a way to be there. You will make a way to prepare yourself. And you will find that time, you will make that time to get involved in some of the things that we do as, you know, as members. Meeting up, having campouts, having training sessions. And there are lots of cool things going across going on across the board with AmCon, with all the different regions and the different chapters and the different groups within the organization. There are lots of cool things going on that are very, very practical and very important. We have a plethora of amazing instructors from just members. You don't have to be a leader to be able to benefit other members. We have firearms instructors, we have first aid instructors, we have instructors, people that can help you with getting your ham radio license, which, by the way, I'm working on that. I recommend it, highly recommend it. But there are so many different resources. There are people that are knowledgeable and experienced in homesteading and growing your own food. And we have ranchers. We have one of our members in Kansas. I don't know if he calls himself a rancher, but he has cattle, and that's his job every day. He's dealing with cattle, and he's a very busy person. But his value to what we do is extremely important. I've learned things from him just from our camp out about camp cooking, and I know we call it camp out, but outdoor living, outdoor food preparation, if we want to make it sound more official. So every member has value, and something that you can bring to the rest of us to help each other. Iron sharpens iron, folks, so we can help each other. We can learn from each other. We can grow from each other. You are important. And I know what it's like to be busy. I know what it's like to go, man, I don't know if I have time to be able to get on the Zello net. I don't know if I have time to email or call this person and follow up because they're a new member. Sometimes it's just there's so many things going on. I understand because I think sometimes members just kind of assume that the leadership, whether it's in your local area or your state or your region and on up, I think sometimes people just assume that the work is going to get done and that you don't need to get involved in that. Well, I would disagree with you, folks. We need each other. We need members to get involved, to build your chapters, to share that information, to build that camaraderie, to have those campfire talks, those talks around the campfire, to have those ideas that you bring to the table. Everybody's important. There's nobody that's insignificant in American contingency. We have some great teachers. There's some great and amazing teachers within AmCon, and you may not even have a certificate that says that you are an instructor. You don't need that, but you still have something to contribute. You still have things that you can teach. So the resources that we have is just incredible. It's incredible. And I'm not putting out these videos because I want you to admire me or to think that I'm something special. I'm just that guy. I'm just going to be that annoying guy that's going to say what needs to be said. Now, you can tell me to shut up or you could just ignore my videos, and that's okay. But I'm going to be that annoying guy that's going to keep reminding you of how beneficial American contingency is, how important it is to get involved, how important it is to get vetted, how important it is to share information. Because, folks, if you're going to wait till things get really bad, when shit has really just hit the fan, if you're going to wait till then to get involved, if you're going to wait till things go horribly south before you start training, before you start pulling resources together, then you're going to be found lacking. You are not going to be prepared. It's going to be a bad situation. And we've already seen natural disasters in this country of ours. We've seen some horrific natural disasters recently with the most recent hurricane, and it goes way back. We have like Katrina, we've had the Joplin tornado, the Greensburg, Kansas, Texas and Oklahoma is always getting big tornadoes. So, folks, you don't wait until it's too late to go, oh man, I need to start preparing, coming up with a plan. Now, AmCon has a very good template for coming up with those plans, and I would encourage you to talk to your regional coordinators, talk to your state coordinators, talk to your local chapter leaders and area leaders about what you can do to plan for different things that could occur in your community, in your own life. So, the whole point of this video tonight is just to tell you that you have value, that you are important, that you bring everybody is significant. There's no member that's insignificant in this organization. You don't have to be a Green Beret. You don't have to be a Navy SEAL. You don't have to be an ex-cop. Okay, we have a lot of those people, but we have a lot more people that were not military, that were not law enforcement, that were not corrections, There's probably more non-military members than there are military, and I'm just guessing. I don't know for sure, but there's a lot of people in this organization that don't have those backgrounds, and it's while it can be helpful in certain aspects, it's not necessary, and it doesn't diminish your importance as a member. It doesn't diminish what you can bring to the table. It could be simply You could be simply just a good cook. Lord knows I could use that in my life. I love my wife, but she's not a cook. I'm learning how to cook. I'm 55 and now I'm starting to learn how to cook. I'm way too late, but I'm learning. You can teach this old dog new tricks. But folks, it could be somebody that could just simply teach you how to maybe grill or barbecue or smoke meat. It could be something like somebody teaching you how to garden, to grow things, or raise chickens, cattle, goats, whatever, how to trap and harvest animals. Um, there are so many different resources available in AmCon amongst the members. And I know that, I know the regional coordinators have talked to us state coordinators about this, is finding somebody in your states and in your regions to be training, basically a training coordinator for each state. And that's important. That's extremely important. And I love that kind of stuff. And I think that that's very important. We need people that are knowledgeable in communications with ham radio, GMRS, MERS, marine radio, marine band radio. And, we need people that are good at training and teaching first aid, wilderness first aid. We need people that are good with teaching self defense, defensive tactics. We need people that are good with firearms. The thing is that to be the complete warrior is what that warrior ethos is to be complete. Is you need to learn multifaceted things and a multifaceted approach to what you learn and how you train, not just go to the range and shoot guns. Okay, like this, I'm a perfect example of being overweight and out of shape. Some of us are getting older and it affects us more. There's no way I'm going to go ruck 10, 15 miles, probably not even 5 miles with a heavy pack on. That's just a reality. So know your limitations, but also try to work past those limitations and try to do things to help eliminate those limitations. Um, so everybody in the organization has something important and something of value to bring to the table. You you could be really good at bushcraft skills, wilderness survival. There's so many different things. So many different things. How to you fill in the blank. You fill in the blank. Because at the end of the day, this is about how to live when life isn't so comfortable anymore. Okay? How to live when life isn't so comfortable. That's what we're working towards. That's what the whole point of a contingency plan is how to survive when it doesn't seem like life is survivable anymore, where there's bigger challenges that we have to deal with. So everybody is significant, or I'm sorry, everybody has significance in this organization. You are important, you have significance. That's the title of this video. I just came up with that. You are important, you have significance. There's nobody that's insignificant unless you want to be insignificant, unless you allow yourself to be insignificant. And the only way to do that is to not participate, not communicate, not respond to anything. If you are insignificant, it's because you decided to be. So everybody's important, everybody has significance. So that's it. Sorry for the rants. Like I said, I'm not trying to be anybody special. I'm just trying to speak what needs to be said, speak the truth. Sometimes it may rub you the wrong way. I apologize ahead of time. I'm not trying to be an arrogant butthead or anything like that. I'm just trying to share information, try to, encourage you or prompt you to get active, kind of, you know, spur you on a little bit. Because we have a lot of people that aren't doing anything and they decisively have made themselves insignificant because they're not communicating, they're not participating, they're not doing anything. They just joined. They're paying their $5 a month, and that's it. That's the only way to be insignificant. But even then, you're contributing financial, benefits to the organization, which is also important. But you're insignificant for yourself. You're disconnected when you could be connected and you could help other people, you could help yourself, be tied into that network, be a part of that tribe. And I am going to preach about this for as long as I live, as long as I'm welcome in the AmCon community. I'm going to preach the importance of being part of the tribe, because if you just join but you don't connect, you don't communicate, you don't share information, you don't participate, then basically you're just wasting your time and your money. So, this JW, Ronan 785, part of the South region. I'm the Kansas State Coordinator. We've got a lot of fun and exciting things coming for Kansas, and hopefully that wildfire will spread, figuratively speaking. We don't like wildfires, especially California. But sorry, guys, West Coast, sorry. I'm sorry that you live in California, but even more sorry that you have to deal with all the fires. But anyway, folks, have a safe and fun and enjoyable holiday season. We're coming to the end of 2024, and there's a lot of excitement. Trump has won the election, but the work is not done. There's still so much potential for things to happen. Look at the turmoil with Russia, North Korea, Iran, Israel, Ukraine. I mean, it's just all over the place. Um, our border crisis, So there's so much stuff going on. So don't let your guard down now. Just because Trump won the election doesn't mean that he's going to be able to fix everything. We have to do our part as citizens of this country. Something, and I'm going to end with this. I would rather be a citizen rather than be a civilian. A civilian basically denotes that I'm not military or I'm not a cop anymore or anything like that. But a citizen has responsibilities. A citizen takes responsibility, and a citizen has a vested interest in what's happening in our world here at home today and the world all around us. So, again, this is JW, Ronan 785. Peace out.